Welcome everybody to this webcast. My name's Mark and I'm a senior manager in the shareholder tax team at Cooper Parry. But since March, I've been a key member of the COVID-19 Taskforce focusing on the job retention scheme. It's fair to say that the job retention scheme was introduced in a rush in order to give vital support to businesses as we entered lockdown. However, this has meant that the guidance has not always been perfect and has been updated over time, and we have seen a number of errors in the claims that our clients have been making. The scheme is set to change from the 1st of July, and the purpose of today's webcast is to let you know what those changes are going to be and how they might impact on you. As a team, we're committed to making sure you make the right claim, and this webcast is just one part of that. I'm delighted today to be joined by Tara, who's now going to introduce herself.
Thanks, Mark. Hi, everyone. So my name is Tara, and I'm a tax manager here at Cooper Parry. And like Mark, since March, I've been part of our COVID-19 Taskforce, focusing on helping employers to use and understand the coronavirus job retention scheme. And as we've seen recently, lockdown restrictions are beginning to ease, and we're very much in the back to work phase now, but with big changes such as social distancing measures that need to be implemented in the workplace. So if you're in a position where you're looking to bring back your business towards full capacity, but still need a bit of a helping hand from the government, you'll be glad to hear about the latest announcements.
Right, so what's changing? Well, the old scheme closes on the 30th of June, although you have up until the 31st of July to make claims for that period. From the 1st of July, there are a number of changes being introduced. The key ones are that there will no longer be a minimum period of furloughing. Previously, that was 3 weeks. The biggie that Tara's already mentioned is this concept of flexible furloughing, where you can bring back employees part-time to meet the needs of businesses. And from August, you're going to be required to contribute to the cost of those furloughed employees. There is another change coming in that has a real potential to impact on businesses. That is, from the 1st of July, you will only be able to claim for a maximum number of employees based on the maximum number of employees you claimed for in a period prior to the 1st of July. This could be a real issue for you if you have been rotating your furloughed staff, but now wish to place them all on flexible furloughing from the 1st of July. However, there is still time to impact on that by looking at the maximum number of employees you claim for any period prior to the 1st of July.
So it seems that flexible furloughing is the new buzzword, but how does it actually work? Well, basically, it gives you the ability to bring back some or all of your staff in a way that best suits your business needs at the time. And just to be really clear, this only applies to employees that have previously been furloughed. You cannot bring new employees onto the scheme now unless, as Mark said, they have been on parental leave. You can choose each employee's working hours and shift patterns, so it really is flexible, as the name suggests. The idea is that you'll pay your employees for the time that they are working, and the government will step in to pay towards the rest. This new option will be available from the 1st of July, as long as the employees have completed their minimum 3-week furlough period before then. If an employee is partway through a 3-week period when we reach the 1st of July, they will have to complete those 3 weeks before they can be flexibly furloughed. So now is a great time to have a think about what resource you'll need and when to get your business up and running again.
We've already said from August, the scheme is going to start costing you as an employer, whereas previously, if you've been paying your employees the 80% of their normal salary, the government have been picking up the tab. So in August, that changes because you'll no longer be able to claim for national insurance contributions or pension contributions. Then in September, you'll only be able to claim 70% of their furloughed wages, subject to a maximum cap of £2,187.50. And then in October, that reduces again to 60%. Limited to a cap of £1,875 per month. It's important to note that in order to claim those reduced amounts, your employee still needs to receive 80%, and therefore you're going to have to pay the difference. In addition, if you brought them back through the flexible furloughing arrangements, you are going to have to pay them at their full rate for the hours that they do work during the month.
So what about the claims process itself? Has that changed in any way? Well, up until now, employers claiming under the job retention scheme have been able to choose their own claim period and submit claims as often as they like to fit around their pay runs. However, from July onwards, each claim period must be aligned with the same calendar month, And this is just to make the calculation easier, as the maximum claim will change each month, as you've just seen. Each claim must also cover a minimum period of 1 week. So you could submit a claim each month, or you could submit a claim each week or fortnight, as long as you bear in mind that you'll have to split the week up when you get to the end of a calendar month.
Okay, so how are we going to account for and deal with these payments that we're receiving under the scheme? Well, the grants are taxable, but of course they should be offset about the actual by the employee costs that you're going to incur and the national insurance and pension contributions. So you shouldn't end up paying tax on the grants itself as it nets off against the other. From an accounting perspective, it's the accruals method under FRS 102 that seems the most appropriate to deal with these payments under.
And is there anything else you should be aware of? Well, you'll need to bear in mind that you will need to provide slightly more information on your claims going forward if you do choose to take advantage of the flexible furlough option. Where you've brought employees back part-time, you will need to enter the number of hours they have worked and the number of hours they've remained furloughed for. And these two numbers should then add up to the total hours that they would have worked under normal circumstances. I think it's also just worth a reminder that you'll need to be keeping copies of all documentation relating to the scheme. HR documents such as employees' agreements to be furloughed need to be kept for 5 years, and claim calculations, including any adjustments you make, which Mark will tell you about in a moment, needs to be kept for 6 years. HMRC have implied that they will be auditing claims in the future, so it's really important to be well prepared.
Thanks, Tara. I think, as I said at the outset, this scheme was rushed in and the guidance wasn't always perfect and got updated over time. So I think it's fair to say there are going to be errors. We have to accept that. Now, HMRC recognise this as well, and they've recently introduced a system by way you can amend for any previous errors that you've made in claims in a subsequent claim period. They're also looking at ways in which you can make a claim adjustment where you're not intending to submit a later claim. It's also worth noting that HMRC have introduced a penalty regime where claims are made in error. However, we hope that these will only be applied where claims have been made in error deliberately. There is a whistleblower line, and to date there have been over 2,000 complaints to it from employees who feel that their employers have dealt with the furloughing arrangements incorrectly. And I think it's fair to say we would expect those cases to have some sort of inquiry from HMRC. So it's real key to make sure you're applying the rules correctly and that you're making your claims and making any adjustments that you need to make subsequently that you become aware of.
So what if you need help accessing the scheme? First of all, please head to the Cooper Parry website. You'll find loads of information there, hints and tips about the job retention scheme, as well as details of other financial help you might be eligible for. There are links on there to relevant pages of HMRC guidance where you can read more if you need to. As well as that, Mark and I have been preparing and reviewing claims for our clients over the last 3 months, and we'd be more than happy to discuss these services with you or just help you with any queries that you might have. Our contact details will be shown at the end of this webcast and can be found on our website.
Okay, so that's been a canter through the changes that are coming in from the 1st of July. As Tara says, please do get in touch. We're happy to deal with any queries that you've got, and we've built up a great deal of experience in how HMRC are viewing these things and what different employers are doing in certain situations as well. So we'll be pleased to share that with you. Whilst the introduction of flexible furloughing is really welcome in the sense it gives business great flexibility on how they can bring people back to work as we look to get away from being in full lockdown, I think it's fair to say it has introduced a lot of complexity to what was already a complex system. Given HMRC's intention to audit claims and the risk of penalties, it's more important than ever that as an employer you get your claims right, and we're here to help you with those. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.